Packers QB Brett Hundley in great situation to succeed. Going into the 2015 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers were looking for a backup quarterback. Their number 2 was Scott Tolzien, an extraordinary student of the game but with limitations that left general manager Ted Thompson and coach Mike McCarthy needing a more talented player to groom in case Aaron Rodgers was injured again down the road. Ever since Thompson's scouting trip to UCLA in the previous fall, he'd admired Brett Hundley in what was a thin class of quarterback prospects. Then during the draft process in the spring, McCarthy gave Hundley his imprimatur. Thompson never would consider drafting a quarterback without his coach's wholehearted blessing. On day 3 of the draft, when pick number 147 in the 5th round came up, 5 quarterbacks were gone: Jameis Winston, 1st round; Marcus Mariota, 1st; Garrett Grayson, 3rd; Sean Mannion, 3rd; and Bryce Petty, 4th. But Hundley still was on the board, and with 19 selections before the Packers pick, Thompson made the move. He traded a 7th rounder and his 5th rounder to make Hundley the GM's highest drafted quarterback since Brian Brom, 2nd round, in 2008. It's now proving to be a consequential pick, because Rodgers could be out for the season with 10 games to play. What the Packers have in Hundley will determine where their season goes from here. To find out just what McCarthy has to work with, this week I called the college scouting director of an AFC team whom I've spoken with annually for more than a decade. As anyone who follows the NFL knows, draft grades are projections in the most inexact of sciences, as is proven every year. But this scout has long experience immersed in evaluating college players, so his is an informed opinion. And from a bottom-line perspective, he gives Hundley a good chance of winning 4 or 5 games out of the Packers' final 10. I think they have enough veterans around him to give him a chance, the scout said. The good thing about this isn't a guy who just got drafted this past year and had, only, a few games under his belt. He's had time to sit and watch. If he's been developing full-time, it's a great situation for him. You have the type of head coach that's going to put him in position to do well. Hundley has been in that system, the system hasn't changed on him. All those positive things that are going into it for the rest of the season, I like him. They did a good job drafting him when they did. Thompson straight up for Hundley suggests the Packers probably had a 4th round grade on him. This scout graded Hundley a round higher. In his mind, a 3rd round quarterback is a number 2 who could develop into a lower level starter. 1st and 2nd round grades project to a certain starter at that position. I thought Hundley would be a bottom 3rd, bottom 10 type, starting quarterback in the NFL when he's at his best, the scout said. That's not bad. You can win with those guys if you have players around them. When you're talking about a top 10 quarterback, you're talking about a guy that can carry a team by himself, without the top offensive threats around him. The middle-tier guys need 1 or 2 players. The bottom 10 guys need more players around them. An important factor in how this goes is McCarthy, and don't underestimate his role in drafting Hundley. As the franchise's quarterback guru, McCarthy has been a mentor for the scouting staff in evaluating that position. He studies all the quarterbacks who attend the NFL Scouting Combine, and he saw Hundley as a player he felt good about working with. Judging by emails and Twitter feed, McCarthy has his share of critics in Packerland. But his track record with quarterbacks holds up well. It started as quarterbacks coach in Kansas City, 1995-98, where he helped develop backup Rich Gannon, who later won an MVP with Oakland. In New Orleans, it was Aaron Brooks, who went 35-34 with McCarthy as his offensive coordinator and 3-18 without him. Then there's Matt Flynn, who was 3-3 as a Packers starter under McCarthy but bombed out everywhere else he played, Seattle, Oakland and Buffalo. McCarthy's one notable failure was going 2-5 with Alex Smith in the top picks rookie season in San Francisco, 2005. The next year McCarthy was in Green Bay, and it took Smith several years to develop into a competent starter. Now McCarthy faces maybe his biggest test of all. The Packers are 4-2. Can they still be a playoff team with 10 games to go? It all depends on his partnership with Hundley that's 2.5 years in the making. In that time, Hundley has flashed potential, 129.6 preseason passer rating as a rookie, and been mundane, 88.8 preseason rating this year. He's also now lost, 39.6 rating, aft.